Thank you, Councillor Elliott. My name is Darren Burns. I'm from Stradbroke Island, the Quandamooka Land Council. I also represent the Quandamooka people and also all of the people of Stradbroke Island, I think. I just want to refer to the letter the Land Council, Quandamooka Land Council had sent in yesterday in relation to the development application MC010968. Just asking the Council, Mr Ray Turner, Acting CEO, to consider confirming the legal advice and that Conrutile addressed the legal advice of King and Company in relation to the native title matters raised in the King and Company solicitors' advice provided. Also, I'd refer also to the Quandamooka Land Council submission that we sent in earlier in relation to this application. And also I'd like to read a poem. I have permission from the Walker family to read a poem by Aniujaru Nunako this morning. But before I do that, I'd just like to say a personal observation of mine is when I look around the Redlands and in the Redlands chambers, in the council building and around the Redlands and the papers, there are images and words festooned throughout the council of Stradbroke and its beauty, and the words of Aniujaru. And this is the image that council and everyone is happy to put up front, but out the back we continue to let mining destroy the beauty, the natural beauty of our place. And as an Indigenous person, I can only ask that you look at that, but also look at the good people of Simo and Posse also and the hard work that they do and that we get inspiration from also in relation to this. So I'd just like to read this poem by Aniujaru. Thank you. It's titled Injeribar. Injeribar was a giant in the sun, his green back coated with cypress and gum, belly bloated with rich grains of sand, eyes brimming with water so cool. He stretched for miles in the sun, and Pacific in the east, Quandamooka in the west, bathed this giant in the sun. But when Jeribar's back now was broken, men came and tore out his guts, stole his rich grains of sand, stripped his cloak of cypress and gum, drained water from his ageless eyes, and weakened this giant in the sun. O man, with your machinery and science, your greed and callous disregard, when your savage looting and lying is done, will gods in the future, if future there is, spare you your place in the sun. And thank you, that was passed on to me this morning by Councillor Debbie Hendrick. Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Hands up. Lady in the back there.
Good morning. My name is Jackie Cooper. I'm the president of the Stradbroke Island Management Organisation. I would like to speak about this development application. We only received the council's report 24 hours ago. And we have not seen anything to demonstrate that CRL has authority to create stockpiles of sand for export. We consider that the council officers and CRL should be asked to explain how approval can be granted when there has been no approval to create the stockpile, which is assumed as a valid starting point for the proposed operation. So the proposal is based upon a fundamentally unlawful activity, that is, the creation of huge sand stockpiles without any lawful authority. There is no escape in pointing to the activity authorised under the mining lease, as it only authorises mining and extraction of minerals, which does not include ordinary sand. The stockpiles cannot be rationalised as being created for the purpose of sand mining or land rehabilitation, because as a matter of fact, they are not being used for those purposes, but are put to one side for future export. We ask, how can the sand be regarded as surplus when there is the need to fill the end of mine void in order to ensure that the landform reconstruction properly approximates what was there before? Under the Environmental Authority, all mined sand is to be put back and used for landforming. CRL says there will be a better outcome in landforming if the sand is removed. But CIMO says this is incorrect. And we know it is incorrect because on the 20th of June this year, CRL showed CIMO and Fossey the diagram of the Enterprise post-mine landform design. It bears no relation to the pre-mine landform. Enterprise mine is listed within the within the listed southern section of the National Estate. This landscape is recognised for its significant features of ancient transgressive parabolic dunes, formed by the prevailing winds in a southeast to northwest direction, creating micro-ecosystems in the valleys and along the high dune ridges. CRL's post-mine landscape at Enterprise does not return these ancient dunes, but instead creates a vast mound that is higher than the unique marine-cut escarpment bordering 18 Mark Swamp, and a huge canyon to the west of the mound, creating a waterhole and a swamp where previously there was neither. So CIMO has seen firsthand the evidence that removing these stockpiles of sand does not produce a better outcome, but a considerably worse one. We have produced a diagram for the councils to show this point, which I think has been distributed to you all. And it consists of 2 pages. The first shows the situation as it was before mining, and the second shows the proposal of CRL. And you can judge for yourselves. This is fact, this is not opinion. Equally disturbing, we have seen nothing to demonstrate that the existence of the registered native title claims has been taken into account by requiring the native title claimants to sign the application as landowners consenting to the proposed development on their land. Development applications must be made either by the landowner or, if, as here, the applicant for the development approval is by someone other than the owner, then the application form must include the owner's consent. Here that was done by DNR, but not by the Quandamooka people. There cannot be a valid development application under the IPA without the consent of the owners of the land that is the subject of the application, which in this case includes the native title holders. We ask, how can anyone consider that this proposal offers, after mining ends, a positive socio-economic benefit to a community that is mining dependent, ostensibly, when it will employ maybe 10 people, and with 1 truck a minute, have such a powerfully negative impact on the life and health of the Township township? The fact is that the biggest employer on the island is not mining, but tourism, and the accommodation and hospitality industry. And if this application is approved, the operation would employ only a handful of truck drivers. CIMO takes issue with the key points of the officer's report, from trucking to noise to native title. If Council were to approve this application, CIMO would want to see these points tested in court.